Well, you know you're either crazy or a very dedicated gardener when your seedlings come with you on a 261-mile adventure. We're up at the Wisconsin place. I've made a little grow station next to a bright light window. Brought two grow lights with and set those up. Got both the seedling trays, the ginger, and the microgreens all set up. And brought another one of those mylar foil film uh, to make extra light bouncing around, working out great. And that's what it looks like all completed. It works well. It really does um, help you get the maximum advantage of the natural light and the grow light. So I went outside to see what it looked like from the outside, and it looks like it's going to be marvelous. As long as I was outside, I wanted to check on the bed that we built in the fall. Um, Put some chives in here and garlic, and everything seems okay. And the rhubarb patch that's been there for years and years is looking great. The sun is setting and I need to get back inside. Ooh, the fire is well on its way now. Woke up the next morning to 2 inches of snow on the ground. That same bed is covered now. I'm going to take my first actual walk down to the water since we got here and see what that looks like. It's always pretty when everything's covered in white. Kind of a gray, overcast day today, but it's still quite beautiful. Oh, I can hear the water now. It's rather still. We may get some more snow flurries this afternoon, and it's chilly. So it's a great day to start planning the garden. So today I'm going to show you my very low-tech method of garden planning. You don't need much. You probably have everything laying around at home. A couple of pieces of paper, some tape, some scissors, and a number 2 pencil. And I'm taking last year's plan so I don't have to reinvent the wheel this year. And I'm going to tape it up on my glass door here. And I can use that as a pattern to trace from. Then I took 2 pieces of paper and I taped them together so they can be hinged and folded. And now I'll just take another couple of pieces of paper or tape and put it on my paper. Now I'm just going to trace last year's plan. I have 2 sort of large kidney-shaped beds, a circle in the middle, I've got next to that my cinder block long bed, a narrow cinder block bed, some blackberries and blueberries and strawberries. I'll get back to you after I've finished drawing those. So now that I've drawn the outline for 2024, I'm going to go back and look and see what I did on 2023 and 2022, what I planted where. And I've got my garden journal, which is also very low tech. I just record what I sowed and how well it did. nothing fancier than that, and when I sowed it. And then I need to look at my seeds and decide what I actually want to plant and fit into my garden. The first thing I'm going to do on this plan is in each of these beds fill in the permanent things that aren't going to move, like blueberry bushes and chives and rhubarb and that kind of thing. One other thing that I like when I'm doing this is one of these dust-free erasers. It allows you to erase very cleanly so that you can redo as you go along. So we're at the point now. I've got all my perennials listed on my plan. I need to figure out the annuals that I'm going to put in between. I have lots of seeds here, lots and lots of seeds, and I want to plant every single variety that's in these two boxes. But I can't. My garden's not big enough. So I've got to take the time and figure it out, and that's really hard for me. Well, it was time to do something besides planning. I took the seeds, the 700 packs that I put together of my home saved seeds, to a Door County Seed Library seed packing event. The Door County Seed Library is a volunteer-run seed organization that promotes garden education, and they offer free open pollinated vegetable, herb, and flower seeds as well as native seeds to library members. This is for them to be able to plant in their own home gardens. The goal of the organization is to help people become more successful gardeners and seed savers, to increase their sustainability and capacity to grow wholesome food and foster a culture of sharing. The library is a collaborative project between multiple garden organizations and completely run by volunteers. This is Penny. This whole idea was born by an idea she had and began back in 2018 and has grown every year since with the help of the volunteers. This card catalog was converted in each of the 8 libraries into a seed holder, and they were very kindly decorated by Pat. Aren't they beautiful? Well, I have been at this off and on for a couple of days now, and I have at least my initial game plan. I have fit in what I think I can grow for 2024 into this plan. My sticky points were the beans and the tomatoes. The beans, I had so many varieties, and I have got it down to 9 varieties. And tomatoes, I had a lot, and I've gotten it down to 11, which is way more than the 4 that I typically grow. Beyond that, I have 2 things I still want to try to grow. One is something I grow every year, and that's my ground cherries, my Aunt Molly's ground cherries. And I purchased these new this year. They're called Black Turtle, an heirloom black bean, but they take 90 days. So I have to tie up space right from the beginning of the season for these, and I just don't have that space. But I'm gonna try to figure it out. Let me get a little closer, and I will go through the beans and the tomatoes. Through the beans for this year, I definitely want to do Borlato or Borlati beans. They're marvelous, especially before they get to the dry stage. I like them like that. This was our very favorite last year, the top-notch golden wax beans. They were so yummy. This is new this year, dragon tongue beans. This is supposed to be just a fabulous, tasty variety, so I really wanted to try it. Allie sent me these mascot from Canada, so I definitely want to try that. She also sent Red Swan Bush and Ferrari Bush, so I want to try all of those. This is one I do every year. It's the Royalty Purple Pod. They're fabulous, and another beautiful thing about them is they're so easy to find on the vine because they're purple. This is one of our favorite bush beans, just all around good bush beans, freezes well. It's the tender green. And then Will the Flying Gardener sent me these, which I have wanted to do for several years now, the Greek Gigantes. So I am very excited to try the Greek Gigantes this year. So here's my lineup of tomatoes from Wild Boar Farms. Tim's Taste of Paradise will return again this year. Those were the delicious indeterminate cherry tomatoes that rivaled Sun Gold and didn't split like Sun Gold did. This is the new release, like Tim's was the new release last year from Wild Boar Farm. It's called Golden Hour. This one is a pot tomato, so I'm quite excited about that. This is the Mini Marzano. It's new to me, and it's also a pot tomato. It's in the San Marzano family tasting of tomatoes. This is the Atomic Fusion. Very excited about this one. It's supposed to be unbelievably sweet, but unlike the Brad's Atomic Grape, it has some extended vine hang time, and the tomatoes are larger and meatier. Barry's Crazy Cherry is one I've wanted to try now for a few years. It's supposed to have an enormous amount of tomatoes coming off of huge clusters. They're pear-shaped, they're yellow. I'm excited. And this one is the Lucid Gem, which comes very highly rated for taste, kind of on the fruity side. So all of those from Wild Boar Farm I'm excited about. Allie sent me the Castelluto Genovese, and I've wanted to try this one for several years, so I'm excited that I have that for the garden this year. This one is called Mr. Tater's German Tomato, and they are huge. We saw these at a museum, farm museum, and if this comes as huge and as supposedly delicious as recommended, I'll be very excited. From Steve at Digwell Green Fingers, I received Britain's Breakfast, which is supposed to be a great doer tomato, good for lots of different purposes, and the Resistomite Pocketbook, which just sounds fun beyond belief. They form like little clusters, and you can take one little cluster off and eat it without damaging the rest of the tomato. I'm very excited about that one. And the Santiam Sunrise. So those are my selections for 2024, and I hope you follow me along for the journey. Okay, I have a plan and I'm ready to execute. I hope you enjoyed what I had to share today. Remember, sometimes the only thing that we harvest is knowledge, and that's okay. Bye for now. We'll see you on the next one.